Donald Trump, the man who turned politics into spectacle. Loved and hated in equal measure, Donald Trump is one of the most controversial and fascinating figures of the 21st century. A man who didn't just rise to power, he rewrote the rules of power itself. Behind the familiar face and explosive headlines lies a far more complex story. That of a businessman obsessed with winning, shaped by competition, image, and an unshakable belief that the world is a battlefield, and that he was born to dominate it. From an early age, Trump was trained to win. Son of Fred Trump, a real estate billionaire from New York, Donald grew up in an environment where weakness was synonymous with failure. His father taught him that the world is divided between winners and losers, and that respect isn't earned through empathy, but through power. This binary, brutal, and pragmatic worldview became the backbone of his mind. Trump never wanted to be merely wealthy. He wanted to be the center of attention. He wanted the world to see him, and he succeeded. By the 1980s, his name was already a brand. Trump Tower, hotels, casinos, golf courses, each project was an extension of his ego. He understood something few businessmen grasped: the power of media. While others sought discretion, Trump sought headlines. He knew that being newsworthy was worth more than any investment. It was the TV era, and he was among the first to transform his own life into entertainment. The image of the audacious billionaire, with catchphrases and almost cartoonish confidence, wasn't improvised. It was strategy. Trump built a character and lived inside it. Fake it until you make it, Americans say. Pretend until it becomes real. Trump didn't fake success, he staged it, and the public believed. But the empire had cracks. His casinos went bankrupt, debts accumulated, and the image of the golden man began to crumble. For anyone else, it would be the end. But Trump doesn't believe in defeat. He transformed bankruptcy into narrative. He became a symbol of resilience, of someone who comes back stronger. In the public's eyes, he didn't break. He was reborn. And it was with this aura of invincibility that he found the perfect stage: politics. In 2015, when he announced his candidacy for President of the United States, nobody took him seriously. They called it a joke, a marketing stunt. But Trump understood something traditional politicians didn't see. People were tired of politicians, tired of rehearsed speeches, polished promises, political correctness. He offered the opposite: brutality, spontaneity, and confrontation. While his opponents measured their words, Trump said what he thought, and what many were afraid to say. He transformed popular outrage into fuel. His statements, which seemed absurd, were calculated. Each controversial phrase generated millions of dollars in free media coverage. Each attack created more followers. He wasn't competing over ideas. He was competing for attention. And in that war, nobody played better than him. Trump didn't just win an election. He revealed how vulnerable modern politics is to spectacularization. He turned rallies into shows, debates into arenas, and the White House into a stage. He was the first president to govern like a celebrity, connected directly to the public through social media, unfiltered, without intermediaries. For his followers, he was the man who told the truth, the outsider who challenged the system. For his critics, a dangerous demagogue who manipulated emotions and distorted facts. But beyond the polarization, one thing is undeniable: Trump forever changed how politics is done. His communication is simple, direct, and emotional. He understands the instincts of the masses. He speaks in short, powerful, almost primal sentences. He transforms fear into discourse. He creates visible enemies, and he makes every supporter feel they're fighting alongside him, not for him. The Trump method is tribal, ancestral. He doesn't appeal to reason. He appeals to identity. His speeches don't promise complex policies. They promise victory. They don't present technical solutions. They present villains, immigration, the media, the elite, the establishment. Everything becomes a tangible adversary, something that can be pointed at, hated, fought. And therein lies his strength. He offers simplicity in a complex world, certainty in a time of doubt. Trump understands that in the digital age, narrative beats facts. It doesn't matter if something is true, it matters if it sounds true. It doesn't matter if it's fair, it matters if it's memorable. He knows that a lie repeated 1,000 times can become common sense, and that a simple slogan is worth more than a detailed government program. Make America Great Again isn't just a phrase, it's an emotion, a nostalgia, an impossible promise that precisely because it's impossible can never be refuted. During his presidency, Trump governed as if campaigning. Each day was a new episode, a new controversy, a new tweet. He kept his supporters in constant emotional mobilization. While traditional leaders seek stability, Trump sought controlled chaos, because in chaos, he was the protagonist. His adversaries reacted. He acted. They responded. He provoked. In a world of 24-hour news cycles, Trump was inexhaustible. And when he lost re-election in 2020, he did the unthinkable. He refused to accept it. He transformed defeat into conspiracy, loss into theft. For many, it was the most dangerous moment of his trajectory, a direct attack on democracy. For his followers, it was final proof of his loyalty. He wouldn't abandon the fight, even when defeated. Trump understood that in modern politics, the narrative of victimhood is as powerful as the narrative of victory. He didn't need to be in power to be at the center of the story. After leaving the presidency, Trump remains center stage. Among lawsuits, accusations, and new speeches, he stays relevant. For some, a symbol of courage and authenticity. For others, a threat to democracy. But nobody ignores him, and that's the secret. Donald Trump understood the game. In a world where attention is the new currency, he's a billionaire. And perhaps that's why, even out of power, he never seems to have left the scene. Behind the suit, the unmistakable hair, and the provocative phrases, there's a man who deeply believes in his own destiny. A man who built his identity on the conviction that winning isn't an option, it's an obligation. Trump isn't an accident of history. He's its reflection, a mirror of an era where spectacle is worth more than substance, and narrative matters more than truth. An era where digital platforms amplify extreme voices, where algorithms reward polarization, where politics became entertainment and entertainment became a weapon. He's the symptom of a fragmented society, of weakened institutions, of generalized distrust in traditional power structures. Trump didn't create this crisis. He exploited it masterfully. He didn't invent the anger. He simply gave it voice, stage, and direction. And perhaps what's most disturbing isn't Trump himself, but what he reveals about us, about what we're willing to believe, about what we're willing to accept, about how, in the age of infinite information, we've become more tribal, more emotional, more susceptible to spectacle, loved, hated, feared, followed. Donald Trump isn't just a name, he's a phenomenon, and perhaps the first president of the entertainment century. A man who proved that in modern politics, it's not those who are right who win, it's those who have an audience,